thank you very much. No, I'm not going to speak there. I'm going to speak right here. Thank you. Bon après-midi, good afternoon. For those who traveled from Ghana to Ontario, welcome, bienvenue, and thank you very much. I usually don't use these microphones because I don't think I need it. I want to especially welcome the people from the leadership, the government of Ghana. Thank you, deputy ministers and representatives from the consulate and representatives from the High Commission. So a warm welcome. And by the way, I really hope you know that outside of Canada, I'm actually hoping that Ghana does very well in FIFA, and you're playing in 2 days. Please let me offer my personal appreciation to the Deputy Consul, Joyce, who I know very well. I'm going to tell the story about you in a minute, and to Consul General Taylor, who I had the privilege of receiving in my own office. As the minister responsible for public safety in Ontario, I take my responsibilities both as being an elected member to our legislature, which is in Toronto, our provincial legislature, to represent our population of almost 15 million people. Our border with the United States is 2,400 kilometers long, so we have a large border, and across to our south is the US. And I'm very proud to have been in this role now for 4 years next week. And I've worked hard along with our Premier, Doug Ford, every single day to make sure our public safety is top of mind. In the summer of 2022, I got an email from the Deputy Consul General here from Ghana, and she invited me to a celebration, a festival that was going to take place in my community called Ghana Fest. And not only did I reply to the email, but I showed up. And I was told, thank you. And I was told I would see and understand how strong the community is that traces its roots back from Ghana. And the Ghanaian community here in Ontario is strong and it's vibrant. And I have to tell you something, they are so warm and friendly to me. And along the way, Emmanuel Dudu and Prince Darky and other people who have become my good friends embraced me on the very first day. Now, since then, Deputy Consul General Joyce keeps inviting me to more events, and I show up. I show up eager to understand how special the community is. When one thinks of the distance between Ghana and Ontario, it's far. The weather here is also not commensurate to what you're able to enjoy being so close to the equator. But as I said, the people have been very warm and welcoming me, and I've adopted them to make sure if it's Taste of Ghana or Ghana Fest or whatever else is happening from the community, I am always there. And thank you, Joyce. You're an amazing representative of Ghana. Very proud of you. Well, I want to talk about why we're here, and I think this forum, especially as it coincides with FIFA, is very important. FIFA is here because we wanted to showcase our country and our province to the world. We wanted to showcase our democracy, our vibrancy, our prosperity. We wanted to showcase our innovation and our imagination for the future. And along the way, we understand that we have so much in common with Ghana. Look at the colors on your flag. In fact, Joyce, I think it was 2022 when they explained to me why is this so important to understand the colors. Gold, representing the minerals that are being unleashed in Ghana today. Green to the rich agricultural lands. Red to the people that have been there for a very long time and are helping the country prosper. When we look at the minerals, especially, we have reinvented Ontario as understanding that if we unleash our potential on the mineral side, we can do a lot to transform our economy. And that's exactly what we've been doing under the leadership of our Premier, Doug Ford. reimagining how the electric vehicle revolution can be harnessed by taking our minerals that belong here to us and seeing them help us move our economy forward. And there'll be challenges along the way, but we're going to build the road to the Ring of Fire. We're going to see the largest battery plant that is being built by Volkswagen a few hundred kilometers to the south of where we are today. And we're going to see what happens when you harness the minerals to transform your economy. We're also proud in Ontario, as many of you know, we've reinvented ourselves as being the high-tech capital of Canada right here. We have one of the largest number of STEM graduates. Those are the amazing students that are coming forward with education in math and engineering to understand that in order to power the economy, we have to make the investments. What we can teach people around the world is you have to make a concentrated effort to want to transform your economy. And the more I read, Deputy Minister, of what you're doing in Ghana, it's exactly that. The parallels are so similar. The sizes of our population very similar. The fact that we came and still remain as part of the Commonwealth is very important because the laws that we inherited over time, the respect that we have for one another, and most importantly, that both countries want to do good by their peoples by understanding that we have to be there to support them in a social and fair way is very important. When we look again on the technological side, we are, in fact, at the peak of this technological revolution that is happening simultaneous to us being here today. We look at what's happening now with people who are the inventors, the entrepreneurs of tomorrow. This is exactly what you want to see in Ghana as well. And the trade component is essential. We want to benefit from our expertise in technology. How are we finding people to come forward to not only be the entrepreneurs, but to execute a plan to create jobs and, most importantly, to have the country succeed? Let me tell you something else which I'm very passionate about. When we have public safety in our jurisdictions, it is intrinsically linked to the well-being of the health of our economy and the well-being of our citizens. I've made it my business over 4 years, I'll be 4 years in this role on June 24th, to understand the important linkage between having safe communities and a strong government that believes in public safety in seeing your economy thrive. We know in Ontario we've been very successful thanks to our Minister of Economic, Job Creation and Trade, Minister Vic Fedeli, who I know well. He's my colleague that travels the world looking for people to invest in Canada. And by the way, you should try to listen to how he has been so successful because his recipe of tying the wellness of our public safety and the resources that are in our ground, the strength of our peoples to be able to transform an economy as being crucial in attracting many businesses that have come here. And again, on the public safety side, we know that when people around the world want to locate a business and hire local people, when they know there is a government that has prioritized the well-being of their communities through investments in public safety and having strong laws to make sure that we have to have safe communities. Safe communities, Minister, where people can get up in the morning and see their kids off to school and go to work and shop and have a place to worship and call a community their own. So we have found that by being this strong government on public safety, it has helped us attract more business and investment into Canada. But when it comes to trade, we recognize that we don't have everything here in Ontario. Just look at our climate. Half of the year it's cold. Half of the year we can't produce produce easily outside. And while we have a great greenhouse operation, it's not the same. Your agriculture sector in Ghana has been very, very successful. And I've asked the Deputy Consul General to let us know how you can bring in more fresh produce, because especially in the winter months, that's important. I asked the Deputy Consul General that on the federal government level, you have to have discussions on better air links, because this is important as well to make travel and business more fluid. Our government gets along very well provincially with our municipal governments and our federal governments, because we know, as Premier Ford says, that when you work collegially together, you can get things done. In this room at the back, I have one of my largest employers in my own constituency, Mr. Joe Pula, whose family, through the generations, has built one of the largest nut roaster businesses in Canada and the largest snack food businesses in Canada. And I reminded him why it was important for him to come here today, because he already does business with Ghana. And by seeing exactly your commitment to expanding and enhancing the trade corridors, will tell people like Mr. Pula and others why it's so important to be here and to listen to the possibilities of dealing around the world. And finally, I want to speak to the strength of our democracies, because this is very important. Canada and Ghana share a very similar background, as I said before, but we have emerged as our own. We are our own countries. We have our own destinies of wanting to make sure that we can excel in everything that we do, and that our opportunities are completely inseparable from our dreams. If we dream it, we can do it. When I look at the wealth and the resources of your country, when I look at the wealth and resources of your peoples that have come here as your ambassadors in the community to represent Ghana, there's so much we have in common. In fact, as I said at the very beginning, the reason that I gravitate to accepting invitations with Joyce and Consul General Taylor, it's obvious. It is the warmth of the people, and it is so much that we have in common. And in Ontario, we share that belief. There's nothing we can't do. There's so much we can do in common. And I think ministers and representatives from Ghana, on the onset of FIFA, what I can tell you is this: we should root for each other's countries. We should root for the continued success and expansion of trade. We should root for sharing ideas and encouraging investments one to another. And we should root for the fact that there are such wonderful people on both sides of the hemisphere that believe in this concept of family, of success, of continuity, of goodness, of values that represent this common thread of decency. I'm here because one day, 4 years ago, one of your diplomats reached out to me, probably never expecting that I would, A, return her email or return the call. And along the way, I saw something incredible. So I welcome you here. I welcome the delegations here. I welcome the people from Ontario here, because there's a lot we have in common. And Minister, I am beyond enthusiastic of the potential of the relationship, and may we both go from strength to strength. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. And miigwech. Pleasure to be. Standing relationship rooted in shared values and strong ties in trade, security, and investment. Ontario is enriched by the many contributions of Canadians with roots in Ghana. As a fan from around the world gathers in Toronto for this World Cup this summer, right now, this forum offers a valuable opportunity to highlight Ghana's investment potential across key sectors and emerging industries. And I want to extend my sincere thanks to the Consulate of Ghana in Toronto for hosting this forum. Our government remains committed to working with the business communities and international partners to ensure Ontario continues to thrive as a global hub of innovation and opportunity. Thank you. Best of luck to our teams in the World Cup. Signed, the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of the Province of Ontario. Let me just put this down. Let's get a picture. Hold on.